Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So I found this extremely interesting article that has been put together by a body language expert who has done a recent analysis of Meghan and Harry's latest public appearance since promoting their Humdrum, and I have to say the word humdrum, Spotify podcast. They're trying to get people to engage. Now, what seems to be evident is that Harry is trying to come across as less of a wimp. He's trying to come across as less of a beta male, and he's trying to come across as though he's in control. Meghan, on the other hand, has generously given Harry a bit more portion of the sofa when usually he's just squashed to the side, looking very weak and submissive and subdued. But it seems as though they're trying to present something else because obviously they have a lot of bad press. Harry has been looking like a joke for quite some time now, and it hasn't been good for either of their marketing, because who can really take advice from a couple who do not have their own eggs lined up in order, if that's even an expression? I don't know. So I haven't fully read this article, so I'm going to read it out to you guys. And I think that, I don't know, I mean, it doesn't really have much relevancy to anything in a greater, wider scale because the damage is done. Harry cannot really come back from all of the crap that he's done thus far, especially to his family. And only a man who is truly whipped in you-know-what sense would do the things that Harry has done. So no matter what he's trying to do now, no matter what expert psychological training they have had, because we know that he's probably having body language training, they both have, in order to come across better, because their public image has been flagging poorly flagging. We can see the trees from the woods. We can see it for what it really is. So whether they like it or lump it, it doesn't really matter because the damage is done and the nail is in the coffin. So this article is by the Metro, so it's a nice little British publication, and it is titled Body Language Expert Analyzes Harry and Meghan's Posture as They Promote Podcast. So it says here, a body language expert has claimed Prince Harry's taken a more dominant role after looking at a video of him and Meghan being interviewed. Judi James said the couple had a US-style polish and that the Duchess of Sussex was taken on a demure and softer role after watching a video of the pair promoting their latest podcast in their first joint appearance since being stripped of their royal duties. She claimed there was a new emphasis on making Harry look like the more dominant alpha male, while Meghan sits demurely beside him, gazing in admiration. Miss James told Female that Meghan was adopting a demurely regal pose, while Harry's body language looks a lot more American with his wide hand gestures and his energetic delivery. There is almost a switching of delivery styles from these two, with Meghan adopting a much more UK royal style of pose with her hands folded over one another on her lap as she sits close to her husband, she said. Yeah, well, she would be doing that. I think Meghan is slowly realising that she's not as hot as what she thought she was, and she's got a hard road ahead. People have not really believed in all of the lies and all of the mistakes that were allegedly girly, innocent, naive mistakes. This is a woman who, word on the street says, is 43 years old. It hasn't worked for her, so Harry is her only claim to fame. She's heavily relying on Harry in order to get some kind of likability and to get some dignity back, because she stripped herself of that while she was here in the UK. She done an absolutely abysmal job of convincing the British public that she wanted to be of service, that she cared about the British. She put us down, and it has followed her like a bad stench, like trash that just needs to be taken out. It's following her, and she has a lot of, you know, monsters or demons or whatever you want to call them in her closet. So it continues on here. The couple were appearing at a virtual event on Monday to plug their Arch Royal podcast that no one wants to watch, named after their son, How Contrived, which is part of a rumoured $30 million deal with Spotify. Miss James suggested that their previous appearances over the last year or so had seen the Duchess take a more dominant role, which she said changed in this short clip, based on 12 seconds of this video. She explained, in earlier appearances it was often Harry squeezed down one end of the sofa. Exactly. Everyone saw that. It was embarrassing. He definitely lost macho points with that one. So it continues on. Well, Meghan addressed the camera and led the conversations. Here she seems to take a much softer role to create the impression that it is Harry who is the star turn. The rest of the interview is yet to be published. It comes after the Duke and Duchess were told they can never return as working royals and that the Queen had stripped them of their royal patronages and Harry of his honorary military roles. Megxit was finalised in a 12-month review last week at Buckingham Palace. In a statement thought to have been taken as an insult by the couple, the palace said, "In stepping away from the work of the royal family, it is not possible to continue with the responsibilities and duties that come with life of public service." Harry and Meghan replied, "We can all live a life of service. Service is universal." Promoting accusations they were being disrespectful to the Queen, it was not immediately clear if the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's video was recorded before February 14th when they announced they were expecting their second child. It possibly was. Meghan's bump does look significantly smaller, so it probably was, because we know that with this couple, they do like to pre-record and make sure that they've got some PR moves coming back to back to back to back. So they had the Oprah Winfrey announcement, and then they had the pregnancy announcement, and then they've released this. So it seems as though this could have all been done towards the end of January. So I do believe heavily that yes, it was all pre-recorded. So it continues on here. In the clip released by Spotify, the couple say they are using podcasts to drive powerful conversations that inspire, challenge and educate. Meghan explains, "We created Archbell audio that no one wants to listen to make sure that we can elevate voices that maybe aren't being heard and hear people's stories." Because you have no interest in stories of your own. So of course they're going to exploit the poor people and use their stories to give them content so that they can get their hands on that £30 million, which no one that they've interviewed is going to even sniff or get their hands on or get access to, right? So the last part of this article is Harry then adds, "And the biggest part of this is trying to create this community of where you can share. We encourage everybody else to then share their own vulnerabilities within that safe space." Okay. That's the end of the article. Harry's trying to be the man. Harry's trying to enter into a more dominant, controlling role, assertive role, I guess. He's probably sick and tired of being called a wimp. He's probably sick and tired of being called someone who is whipped. He's probably sick and tired of being referred to as handbag Harry. But that's exactly what he is. And, you know, it's kind of stuck. You know, he really has been stuck with this wimpish kind of look, which is never a good look for any man, especially in Hollywood, but anywhere in showbiz. No one wants to look like that. Love, yes. Someone who's madly in love, of course, everybody loves love. But someone who's just literally the handbag of their wife, I mean, it's quite embarrassing, to be honest. And I think that Meghan is definitely falling back onto her acting skills that she gained. Her true personality is yet again being suppressed because it's not getting them anywhere anytime soon. So a commenter has said, "She's obviously putting what she learned as an actress into the fore. She would never take on a demure pose or gaze adoringly at Harry. He may gaze that way at her, and he has been well coached in body language, trying to undo the damage of the past." Yeah, of course they are, because the reality of it is that Harry and Meghan, well, Harry looked ridiculous. He looked really, really, really ridiculous and weak, and it was quite embarrassing. Someone else has said, "I wonder what the unedited version is like. It's been edited twice. It's mostly fake and put on. Can't stand this pair. Just trying to find who they can rip off next to get money, as they are no longer Duke and Duchess." Well, they are still Duke and Duchess in a dormant kind of way, but that dormant title should even go, to be honest. I just really think that it's pointless at this point because they're never coming back. Someone else has said, "So she can't lead the conversation or sit quietly. he is either being dominated by his wife into silence or made to be centre stage. Another person has said he couldn't dominate a room full of 6-year-olds. There you have it. It's a bit of a mess. It really is a bit of a mess. I'll be back with another video, guys. Let me know what you think. Alright, bye guys.